You've been studying all day, and somehow you still feel behind. Yeah, because half of what you're doing doesn't even count as studying. And before you get defensive, relax. I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking the fake productivity you've been forced into, because no one ever taught you how to learn like a human being instead of a malfunctioning laptop. I'm saying this because I used to do the exact same thing, and it sucks. Here's the truth you already feel in your chest. You are working way harder than your results show. That's not a you problem. That's a system problem. So let's fix the system. I'm going to give you 6 rules, and the last one is the reason your brain keeps shutting down after 20 minutes. Stay for that one because it explains every "I can't focus" spiral you've had this semester. Alright, let's go. Rule number 1. If your brain is tired, nothing you do counts. You know that thing where you reread the same paragraph 5 times? Yeah, that's your brain waving a white flag while you pretend it's discipline. No, that's stupid. You're not a machine. You're a person with a prefrontal cortex that literally has a battery life. And right now, you're pushing it like an iPhone on 3% running 5 apps and Google Maps. Here's why this matters. Tired brains don't store information. You can brute force your way through notes for 4 hours, but your brain will upload maybe 12 minutes of real memory. So do this instead. Set a 25-minute timer, study with the most basic level of focus, and then stand up for 5 minutes. Not scroll. Not crouch over your desk like a haunted shrimp. Stand up. Move. Let your brain breathe. This alone will make your all-day study session feel like 3 hours of clean, sharp work. And yes, you need this because you are probably exhausted right now, even if you won't admit it. Rule number 2. Stop trying to learn everything. Learn what moves the grade. You're drowning in details that don't matter, and you know it. You're spending hours on the parts of the chapter the teacher doesn't even care about because it feels productive. It's not. It's procrastination in a costume. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most classes are built like pyramids. 10% of the concepts hold up the other 90. If you don't lock in those bottom bricks, all the flashcards and color coding and study hustle on top of it just collapses. So stop being fancy. Before you begin, write down this on a sticky note. What 3 things matter most for this exam? Not 20. Not the whole textbook. 3. If you don't know, check the syllabus. Check old quizzes. Check your teacher's patterns. There is always a pattern. Study the things that actually move the grade. This will save you literal days of your life. Days you're currently sacrificing for no reason. Rule number 3. Your environment is destroying your focus, and you know it. If your phone is in the same room, congratulations, you're studying with a toddler who screams for attention every 12 minutes. You think you have bad focus? No. You're fighting a slot machine with a dopamine addiction. Put the phone in another room. I don't mean face down. I don't mean do not disturb. I mean physically not within reach like it's some cursed artifact that drains your IQ. Because let's be real, half your study sessions are just you doing 20-second bursts of work between checking notifications you don't even care about. Move it out of the room and watch how your brain magically stops acting like scrambled eggs. Do it tonight. Rule number 4. If you can't explain it out loud, you don't know it. I'm going to hurt your feelings, but you'll thank me later. Your notes look beautiful and memorize absolutely nothing. You're acting like a librarian instead of a student. You're curating information, not learning it. The brain stores information by retrieving it, not by staring at it. Highlighting does nothing. Rereading does nothing. Staring at the same page until your soul leaves your body does nothing. Here's what works. Close the book, turn your notes over, and explain the concept out loud like you're teaching a 12-year-old. If you can't teach it, you don't understand it. If you can teach it badly, you kind of understand it. If you can teach it simply, you've locked it in. And before you complain, yes, you can do this quietly if you're in a library. Whisper. Teach like a menace. I don't care. Do this and your brain will finally stop letting concepts slide right through it like a broken colander. Rule number 5. Most of your studying is actually avoiding the hard part. Let's be honest for 2 seconds. You spend 70% of your study time doing everything except actual thinking. Rewriting notes, organizing your desk, color coding, fixing your playlist, preparing, resetting, rewatching the lecture at 125x because it feels responsible. You're doing chores, not studying. The only real studying is retrieval, practice problems, flashcard recall, self-quizzing, teaching out loud. Everything else is the academic equivalent of washing dishes before a workout. It feels like progress, but it moves nothing. So here's the rule. For every 30 minutes, at least 15 must be retrieval. Non-negotiable. If that scares you, good. That's the part that actually works. Rule number 6. You're overwhelmed because your brain was not built for marathon studying. This is the rule no one tells you because it would ruin the illusion of grind culture. But you already know it. You don't get tired because you're weak. You get tired because your working memory has limits. Picture your brain as a tiny desk with room for maybe 4 items. Every new concept is a piece of paper. Every example is another paper. Every formula, another. After a few minutes, the desk is overflowing and things start sliding off the edge. That's the "I can't focus anymore" moment. That's the "why am I rereading this sentence like a goldfish" moment. But what do you do instead of clearing the desk? You pile more on. Then you yell at yourself for not being able to balance the entire library on a table meant for 4 sheets. Here's the fix. Study in small, sharp bursts. Alternate topics so your working memory can reset. Take breaks before you crash, not after. This is not being soft. This is how the brain works. If you learn to work with it instead of punishing it, your productivity will skyrocket. And yes, this is the rule that explains why your all-day sessions leave you drained, confused, and somehow still behind. Your brain shuts down because you're forcing it into a mode it was never built to operate in. Once you stop doing that, everything gets easier. Right now, you're probably stressed, tired, and a little mad at yourself. You've been trying so hard. You've been sitting for hours. You've been doing everything you thought you were supposed to do. But deep down, you know something hasn't been working. You're thinking, "I'm putting in the time. Why am I not getting the results?" This is why. Not because you're lazy. Not because you're broken. Because no one taught you the basics of how the brain actually learns. Now you know. Now you have a system. Now you don't need 10 hours. You need better hours. So here's your one action. The only thing I want you to do after this video, pick one of these rules and apply it tonight. Not all 6. Just one. Prove to yourself you can change your pattern without burning out. And when you're ready to lock in, comment "resetting" so you actually commit to doing it. Then get up, clear your desk, set a timer, and finally study like someone who knows what they're doing.